This channel does not promote any violent, harmful, or illegal activities. All content provided by this channel is meant for an educational purpose only.
Cancer Healer Center, a new beginning.
আর একদম শুরুতে যে খবরের নজর রাখবো, উল্টোডাঙ্গা CIT রোডে উচ্ছেদ অভিযানকে ঘিরে উত্তেজনা। হাইকোর্টের নির্দেশে উচ্ছেদ অভিযান, সেই উচ্ছেদের বিরোধিতায় বিক্ষোভ স্থানীয় বাসিন্দাদের। 50 বছর ধরে বাড়িতে বসবাস করছে 15টা পরিবার, উচ্ছেদ করলে যাব কোথায় প্রশ্ন তুলছেন বাসিন্দারা। আপনারা দেখতে পাচ্ছেন সেই ছবি। উল্টোডাঙ্গায় ধুন্ধুমার, উল্টোডাঙ্গায় CIT রোডে উচ্ছেদ অভিযানকে ঘিরে উত্তেজনা। হাইকোর্টের নির্দেশে উচ্ছেদ অভিযান, উচ্ছেদের বিরোধিতায় স্থানীয় বাসিন্দারা। আরো বিস্তারিত জানবো, রঞ্জিত রয়েছিল আমাদের সঙ্গে টেলিফোন লাইনে। রঞ্জিত, এই মুহূর্তে কি চলছে সেখানে?
দেখো, উল্টোডাঙ্গা CIT রোডে হাইকোর্টের নির্দেশে যে উচ্ছেদ অভিযানকে ঘিরে ধুন্ধুমার কাণ্ড, উত্তেজনা এবং স্থানীয় বাসিন্দাদের বিক্ষোভ, এবং উল্টোডাঙ্গা CIT রোডের হাইকোর্টের নির্দেশেই উচ্ছেদ ঘিরে বিক্ষোভ এবং উত্তেজনা, এবং যেটা স্থানীয় বাসিন্দারা অর্থাৎ এই সত্যরঞ্জন কুণ্ডু এবং নিরঞ্জন কুণ্ডুর মালিকানা ছিল বলে দাবি করে আদালতের দ্বারস্থ হয়। পরবর্তী ক্ষেত্রে হাইকোর্ট নির্দেশ দেয় যে আজ সকাল থেকেই সেই বাড়িটি ভাঙার কাজ, এবং সেই ভাঙার কাজ শুরু হতেই যখন পুলিশ প্রশাসন সেইখানে আসে, তখন পুলিশ প্রশাসনকে ঘিরে বিক্ষোভ দেখায় স্থানীয় বাসিন্দারা এবং উত্তেজনার পরিস্থিতি তৈরি হয়। বাসিন্দাদের অভিযোগ যে 15টি পরিবার সেখানে বসবাস করে, দীর্ঘ 50 বছর ধরে এইভাবেই তারা বসবাস করে আসছে। তারা হঠাৎ করে পুনর্বাসন না দিয়ে তাদেরকে উচ্ছেদ, এই নিয়ে তারা এই দাবি রেখে তারা বিক্ষোভ অভিযান। এই মুহূর্তে কিন্তু ধুন্ধুমার পরিস্থিতি এবং এলাকায় বিশাল পুলিশ বাহিনী মোতায়েন রয়েছে।
সেই ছবি আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি। রঞ্জিত, আপাতত তোমাকে অনেক ধন্যবাদ। কি বলছেন স্থানীয় বাসিন্দারা শোনাবো।
আমরা 50 থেকে 60 বছর আমরা এখানে বসবাস করছি। এখানে মালিকানা বলে কেউ ছিল না। এখানে যে মালিক সে ভেতরে ভেতরে নাকি আমাদের শুধু বিক্রি করে দিয়েছে। যে কিনেছে সে আমাদের শুদ্ধ কিনেছে, মাঝখানে আমরা জানি না কিছু না। আমাদেরকে হট করে কোথা থেকে আমাদের চিঠি পাঠিয়েছে যে এখানে আমাদের বস্তু খালি করতে হবে। এতগুলো পরিবার, আমরা কোথায় যাব? ছেলে মেয়েরা মাধ্যমিক দেবে, তারা কোথায় যাবে?
আমরা এত কষ্ট করে থাকি লোকের বাড়ি, আমরা 50 বছরের উপরে থাকি। ঠাকুর দাদা পর্যন্ত থেকে গেছে, ঠাকুর দাদার আমলে বাড়ি আমাদের। আমার ছেলে মেয়ে এখানে জন্ম, আমি এখানে বয়স চলে যাচ্ছে, মানে বড় বড় ছেলে মেয়ে নাতি পুতি হয়ে গেছে। আমার
কোথায় থাকবো সেটাই তো চিন্তা করছি আমরা, যে এখন আমরা কোথায় যাব। আমাদের বৃদ্ধ মা বাবা সবাই এখানে একই জায়গার মধ্যে, আমরা 40-50 বছর ধরে একই জায়গায় রয়েছি।
এই মুহূর্তে সরাসরি চোখ রাখবো সংসদে, কারণ লোকসভায় বক্তব্য পেশ করছেন তৃণমূল সাংসদ অভিষেক বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়।
She in her speech mentioned that, and she began her speech with a flourish on agricultural growth. But when it came to MSP, the one demand that every farmer of this country has raised, there was only silence. No legal guarantee, no relief from the crippling debt. Instead of waiving farm loans, the government has increased the Kisan credit limit, which essentially means handing farmers more debt than relief. Since 2014, and whatever data I'm quoting in the House, if the chair wants, I'll lay it on the table of the House before tonight. Ma'am, since 2014, in the last 10 years, there have been 1 lakh farmer suicide. That's 1 suicide every hour. These aren't just numbers. They're a grim reminder of a system that abandons those who feed the nation while they conveniently feed lies to the entire country. They boasted of digital India, but conveniently ignore the dire state of our schools. While flashy slogans flood social media, the harsh reality is PM Poshan remains stagnant, leaving millions of children without nutritious food. More than 50% of the children under the age of 5 suffer from chronic malnutrition, with 17% underweight, 36% stunted, and 6% wasted. A crisis screaming for attention, and yet the budget for PM Poshan remains dejectedly inadequate, proving once again that the union government is invested more in headlines than hungry children. Another half-truth: before the elections, the NDA government or the ruling party, BJP, promised LPG cylinders for all. But in reality, 1.2 crore households, I repeat the figure, 1.2 crore households could not afford even a single refill in 2022-23 because of their exorbitant price hikes. This is not upliftment. This is abandonment. When people have to choose between a meal and a refill, their promise is nothing but a cruel joke. In 2019, the cabinet approved 8,574 crore for the census. Yet in 2025, today, even after 5 years, only 570 crore has been allocated in this year's budget. 5 years late and still counting. And this is not happening this year either. But why does this matter? Why am I talking about census? Because without a census, every policy, every income tax slab revision, and every economic projection is simply and just a blind projection and a blind gamble. The Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, Women Reservation Act, which was passed by calling a special session 18 months back in 2023, can't be implemented as its rollout depends on the completion of the next census and subsequent delimitation. Both are yet to be scheduled. The government seems to prefer running the country on guesstimates and propaganda rather than real data, because facts expose their failures and they would rather keep the nation in the dark. As we look at the economy policies of the NDA government, one cannot help but see a pattern. And what is the pattern? Ma'am, the pattern is of or if I am to say, it resembles the tale of a reverse Robin Hood. What is a reverse Robin Hood? We know the story of Robin Hood, taking from the rich and giving to the poor. BJP has mastered the art of taking from the poor and giving it to the wealthy elite. So reverse Robin Hood. For instance, I'll give you an example. For instance, the waiving of corporate loans worth thousands of crores using taxpayers' money, while poor farmers struggling with small debts are left to suffer. The government claims to have no money to increase subsidies on essential commodities, yet it slashes corporate tax rates, giving billionaires an even bigger slice of the pie. This is not economic justice. This is economic favoritism at its worst. Then I talk about, or rather I'll come to half federalism. You know, all the members sitting in this house have never heard of this phrase. This is a phrase that I've coined. Half federalism. Why I say half federalism? I'll give you another example just to understand it better. Madam, in Bihar, BJP's ally, Janata Dal United or JDU, have 12 seats. That means BJP has 12 MPs in Bihar. And in Bengal, BJP has 12 MPs. BJP is in power in Bihar and BJP is not in power in Bengal. So Bihar gets bonanza, Bengal gets blockade. This is half federalism. Madam, not a single meaningful financial allocation has been made for the state of Bengal. This is a Bangla Birodhi budget. 1.7 lakh crore is still due to the state of West Bengal under various heads. This is a deliberate financial blockade, a calculated move to stifle Bengal's growth, prosperity and development. West Bengal's spending due on Manrega to the tune of 7,000 crore still remains unpaid, depriving 59 lakh poor workers. The state has launched Karmashri scheme for providing employment opportunities to job card holders, paying 51 lakh workers from its own funds. The central government has not cleared 8,140 crores in housing dues for rural Bengal under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, depriving 12 lakh beneficiaries. The state government launched the Bangla Bari project last year in the month of December, providing housing to 12 lakh beneficiaries entirely from the state's own funds. Why am I giving you these facts? Because all of you, especially the members sitting in the treasury benches, must know, even though you have deprived West Bengal, the state continues to stand tall as a true testament, an example of Atma Nirbharata, where the mind is without fear, where the head is held high. Chitto jeta bhoy shunno, uchcho jeta shir. While the center withhold funds and play politics with the people of Bengal and their livelihoods, Bengal refuses to beg. We build, we provide, we progress, we grow, with or without their support. Bengal has more than doubled its export in the last 10 years. 57 lakh new MSMEs have been added, employing over 1 crore people. Bengal's handloom industry employs over 5 lakh workers, which is the second highest in the country. The state's broadband policy, formulated in 2020, resulted in investment of 7,500 crore in the telecom sector alone. Almost 3 lakh direct employment has been generated in IT companies. Bengal has over 88 lakh MSMEs, which is the second highest in the country. 1 out of 5 MSME are owned by women, which is highest in the country. 36% of workers in these enterprises are female, third highest in the country. Madam, now I'll come to health. India remains one of the lowest healthcare spenders globally, investing a mere 3% of its GDP, far behind China's 5% and United States of America's 16%. For a country of 140 crore people, this level of investment is not just inadequate, it's an outright betrayal of public health. The government has opened floodgates for 100% FDI in insurance, happily inviting foreign profits, but refuses to remove the crushing 18% GST on health insurance. So while the corporates enjoy free rein, the common man is taxed while they are fighting for their own lives. This is not reform. This is a rigged game where the poor and the downtrodden and the common people of the country are deliberately made to lose. Instead of strengthening government hospitals, this government prioritizes private insurance. Models like PMJAY, whose allocations shot up by 29%, essentially funneling public money into corporate pockets. Strengthening public health care could have benefited millions, but instead government chose to privatize healthcare under the guise of welfare. And if the government truly cared about public health, why has funding for mental health programs like National Tele-Mental Health Scheme has been slashed by 16%? Why is NIMHANS, which is the country's top health mental institute, facing budget cuts? The answer is simple. The government just doesn't care. If healthcare were a priority, this budget would be investing in real solutions, not just mere illusions. Under BJP rule, all of them combined, they excel in crafting headlines. But when it comes to hospitals, medicines, genuine public health investment, the reality is nothing short of an empty set. Madam, now I'll come to half minister. I spoke about half truths. I spoke about half federalism. Now let's talk about half minister. Because our part-time railway minister is also juggling between 2 other ministries. One is electronics and IT, and the other one is information and broadcasting. Running the Indian Railways, which is considered as a lifeline for millions, is not a side gig, madam. But under BJP, governance has become a multitasking circus, delivering half-baked results everywhere. Why I say this?